So, some of you may have some questions like, what does a PTA do? What goes into the day in the life of a PTA? Where can a PTA work? Like, what setting? What are the abilities that a PTA can do? And most importantly, how do you become a PTA? These questions I will answer, but today I'm going to talk about how to become a PTA. Let's get to work. What's good, work pack? And word to the cool world. My name is T.Jay. Thank you guys for clicking another video with All Work No Play. Be sure to hit the like and smash the subscribe button. Pass it on to your friends and family because they can definitely benefit from this channel. All right, so we're gonna get into this video. As you guys seen the first video, let me adjust myself real quick. So as you guys seen in the first video, the very first video for this channel, I kind of told you guys on why I wanted to become a PTA. And it was simply because I was involved in sports all my life, through grade school, through high school, and some in college. And I had many injuries, and I wanted to do something in my life that had something to do with fitness, as well as sports, and as well in healthcare. And that's why I became a PTA. I love helping families. I love helping individuals getting back to their functional activity, their prior level of function. I want to get them stronger, and I want them to minimize their deficits so that way injuries will be less common and less strenuous on the body. So, how do you become a PTA? Well, how did I become a PTA? Well, first off, I had to take a year of prereqs, and you have to go to one of the colleges, one of the community colleges have them, and you take your year of prereqs. That's your science classes, physics, chemistry, mass comm, public communications, and things of that nature. You don't have to take a higher level math class unless you want to go to the PT route of things, and you don't have to take a higher level of biology or science class like a chemistry or anything like that. And then the process is you make sure that your grades are right. Make sure that you're getting great grades because this is a very competitive program, guys. Being in physical therapy is such a competitive program, and you have to be ready. You have to be ready mentally, physically, and prepared for taking tests and doing clinicals and sacrificing time away from your family, your significant other, and be devoted to your work and to actually accomplish and take this very serious. The program is 2 years, and I'm going to get into some other things that are been talking about for maybe 15 years of changes, but to get into the program, here in Colorado, you actually have to, they go by a point system. And the school that I went to, they went by a point system of your GPA. Now, mind you, the first time I applied for the PTA program, I actually was in competition with so many other candidates, and I actually got beat by 1/10 of a point. 1/10 of a point, yes. That's why it's very crucial and that you get great grades and that you maintain a great GPA in order to be considered for the interview process. Now, I definitely would have killed the interview if I didn't get beat by 1/10 of a point, but that's besides the matter. I actually had to wait an entire year to apply to the program the next year. And everything happens for a reason. That's what a lot of people said. And a very good reason it did happen. The class that I had the greatest experience with, I love my classmates. I love my PTA classmates in that class, and so I'm very grateful that I was able to get into that class. But you pass that process, then you get the letter, and they tell you you're ready for an interview. And how the interview works, you actually are interviewed in front of a panel. So there's 4 or 5 people. It could be the dean, and your fellow instructors that are going to be teaching you in this program. And they're going to ask you various questions of, why do you want to be a physical therapist assistant? Do you know what it takes? Do you know the sacrifice? How's your study habits? How is your work, your teamwork? How is your self-efficiency work ethic? How is it that how you work with team? And what type of learner are you? And a lot of things that come into that, and they ask the most important things of, why do you want to come into this field, and why do you want to be in healthcare? What experiences have you had? What hard experiences that you had that you had to overcome and accomplish? What knowledge do you have in the field? And just a whole plethora of so many things that goes into this pot of understanding where and how and why you want to become a physical therapist. So you go through that whole process, and then you get into the program. Okay? Just like that. And in the program, you take anatomy, you take clinical kinese, you take therapeutic activities, you do the basic functions of physical therapy, pathophys, med terminology, rehab principles. There's neuro, cardiac, pulmonary. Like, there's so many things that come into this piece of becoming a physical therapist assistant. And there's a lot to learn. There really is a lot to learn in these 2 years. So you have to be dedicated, and you have to be willing to understand what it is that needs to be done, and the knowledge that you have to work into the field. Okay? So I'm going to get into the fields. There are various fields that a PTA can work in. And I did my research, and I found out there are quite a few places that you can work in. You can work as an instructor at a school that teaches physical therapy. You can work in an orthopedic clinic with a physician, with other physical therapists, physical therapist assistant, occupational, like outpatient. You can work in a hospital setting. You can work in a nursing home setting. You can even work in a gym as a wellness coach, and you work on body mechanics, functional awareness, lifting mechanics, postural awareness, postural analysis, lifting mechanics, lifting analysis, and certain things. You can work in the research field of different type of tests and exercises, and ways of how the body moves with certain exercises, and how the heart works, and how the body works, and structures work, and finding muscles, and how these muscles affect with certain injuries and strengths and weaknesses. You can even work in a big corporation that they deal with lifting and pulling and working and teaching them how to safely do their job to prevent injuries. You can also work in the school systems with the kiddos and getting them doing physical therapy things like working on posture, working on coordination, working on balance exercises, hand-eye coordination, metronome activities, rhythmic activities for initiation for coordination and such. What else? What else can you work in? There's just so many fields that a physical therapist assistant can go into. So don't be discouraged as you can, and thinking that you can only work in the hospital, a skilled nursing, or an outpatient clinic. No, you can do a lot more. than what is being offered. Just do your research. Do your research on different companies and what the accesses are, and if they could utilize a PTA and plead your case and utilizing a PTA. But keep in mind that you also have to have a physical therapist on board. Certain states are different. Some have direct supervision. Some have like a satellite supervision and things like that, where you get the orders from the PT. You can't do evals and such. But yeah, that's kind of like a little nutshell of becoming a PTA. Now, I'm going to say this too. There have been talks for quite some time, and it was before I got into the program, way before I got into the program, where they're trying to change the curriculum to a bachelor's. Now, I got some pros and cons to that, but that's for another video. Okay, that's something to look forward to, that I have in mind. So that's all that I got to say for becoming a PTA. Get your grades up, get into the point system, know the role of being a PTA, interview very well of qualities of a PTA and your passion for healthcare. Do not say job security. They will look past you. Tell them about your passions and the experiences that you have gained over the years as to why you would like to take a career in being a PTA. Okay? Do a lot of research. Prepare yourself for dedication, determination, resilience, perseverance. Prime yourself ready, because it's going to try you for 2 years. Okay? So, I'm T.Jay, and this is All Work No Play. Smash and like the subscribe button, and pass this on to your friends and family, because they can definitely benefit from this channel. It's very helpful. And, well, stabilize before you mobilize. Let's get to work. I'll catch you on the next one. I'm out.